Well, if we win today, we're champions for a third time. Hello? Viva, how are you, mate? You thought you were leaving? Why would you think that? Oh, that's right, I did accept the transfer bid for you, didn't I? Well, I cancelled it, mate. Why? Well, I got cold feet and I didn't want to lose you. Well, I'm glad you're okay with it.
Singin' saman til sigurstrókum áfram Grindavik. Og ég veit, við barnum gerir dag.
Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome back to Grindavik on The Impossible Dream. It is Season 5, Episode 7 today, and we have a chance against KR to win the league if things go our way, and then we will be starting the Europa League phase against Hajduk Split at home. So a very, very big game there, a real chance for us to pick up some points. But the real big news since last episode is Kike Viva is still with us. Now you can see here he's actually happy to stay. Now, I thought he was going to kick off. I ended up getting cold feet and just cancelled all the transfer bids that were coming in. And he ended up being okay with it. And he's happy at the club again. So that could not have worked out any better for us. Literally, it could not have worked out any better for us. So he's here for the foreseeable future. And hopefully he'll continue to train on. I don't really understand why it goes red. I've heard it's because if they're playing too much, they don't train as well. And if they're tired, so that's why it goes down. But I'm not really sure, to be honest. I don't understand the mechanics of that part of the game. But anyway, that is all fantastic because I think he's a really good player, as I've said a number of times now. Now there are some games to catch you up on. We had a little run of league games between last episode and this episode, so let's catch up on those. Starting with a game against Vikinga. Now coming into this game, the press conference wasn't about the title or European football. It was about whether we thought we could avoid relegation. So that put me a little bit off. Let's see how we responded. We had an early lead when Sayas played in Viva. And it was Sayas again picking out Capiello's run to make it 2-0. But Sayas was caught in possession to allow Vikinga one back before half-time. Capiello picked out Gadini to restore our 2-goal lead. Before good passing and movement allowed Turpitson to make it 4-1. And Lamine Cisse got his first for the club. So we were absolutely brilliant in this. I mean, it was perfect, to be honest. Getting those questions in the press conference meant that before the game I could just take the pressure off them, and well, you can see what happened. We were absolutely superb. Morty Mortensen in goal did a good job as well. Andreasen still had that bruised head, if you remember from last episode, so I didn't want to play him. I don't know how that ranks with concussion and whatnot, so I played Morty Mortensen, and he did a brilliant job. So Sayas was involved in many goals, including one of theirs, and yeah, I could not speak highly enough of the performance. It was absolutely superb. The next game in the league was against HK. Rocky found Stephenson to put us ahead in the first half. So this was another good performance from us. We just struggled to score goals. You can see our XG was almost 2.5. And when we scored the early goal, I genuinely thought we were going to go on like we did against Vikinga, and it just never really materialized. It was a little bit more of a rotated side, but I mean, we still did well. Morty Mortensen in goal did well. He did have 6 shots to save, so you know that's nothing to sneeze at. And yeah, just another good performance. It lacked the spark, I guess, of the actual scoreline being as good as our performance was, but it was good. I was happy with this one as well. Next up, it was Vala in the league. Gadini played in Capiello to give us the lead. Matheson crossed for Capiello to get his second. Before Capiello turned provider for Gadini to make it 3-0. So a third home game in a row as we caught up all the games that we missed because we were playing in Europe and still in the Icelandic Cup as well. And we were very, very good again in this one. It helps, I think, playing at home, obviously, and it helps that we could put out a relatively strong side as well. This actually took place during an international break, so we had to play Huggins at left back because Sanchez needed a rest, and our other two, the Chinese guy isn't registered, and Koller was off playing for the under-21s, Icelandic under-21s. So yeah, it was again a very, very good performance from us. XG was 3, we scored 3, so the system works. And yeah, so that was that. Our final game to catch you up on was again in the league against Grotta. Capiello picked out Stephenson to give us an early lead. And Cisse played in Cappiello to make it 2-0 in the 3rd minute. Before Cappiello returned the favour for Cisse to get out 3rd. A goal-mouth scramble was finished by Huggins to make it 4-0 at half-time. And Magnuson found Rocky for our 5th. Before Cisse and Rocky combined to make it 6-0. So, absolutely brilliant again, and almost the best thing about this performance was that Rocky came off the bench, played as the striker, and got 2 goals. That was really, really pleasing. Now, this was a relatively strong side. 2 reasons for that. I figured, well, these games have taken place. We've had 4 games sort of in 10 days. This team is more or less the team that I think we're going to play in Europe, give or take 1 or 2 players. And I really wanted to make sure we nailed down this win. So then if we put out, because Grota are a team we should beat, really, and I think that showed here. Then KR, who are 2nd in the league, who we're about to face, if we put out a bit of a weaker team against them, because we're going to have to rest, we're going to have to keep the European players fresh anyway. Make sure we win this, and then even if we lose against KR, it still kind of works out for us. So we have a look at what this all did for the league table. And you can see with 4 games to play, I think it's 4 games to play, isn't it? Yeah, 4 games to play. We are currently, 7 points clear. Now, KR are the team in 2nd. They're the only team that can catch us if, and it is an if, obviously, but if we win, that's it. We'll be 10 points clear, 3 games to play, so therefore 9 points to play for, and they won't be able to catch us. So, makes this first game very, very important for us. And let's go see the team that we're sending out. So we're expecting a 4-2-3-1 formation from them. And the team we're sending out, Andreasen is in goal. Let's scroll this up so you can see this a little bit better. Sanchez, Monthe, Magnuson, and Huggins are the back 4. It's Pordatsen, Haukson, and Karasson in midfield. Cisse, Haverdatsen are the wide players. Stephenson goes up top. There's a few players here with a heavy match load. But like I say, this is just about making sure that the team that we want to go and play in Europe is fresh. And I wonder, actually, is Collar back from his international duty? Oh, you'll see Turco's still here. His loan's actually up at the end of this month, not the end of last month. So I stuffed that up a little bit. But yeah, that's why he's still here. Collar is back, so let's put him in. Let's get the fresh legs in there. Sanchez can go on the bench, and Huggins has to play because we want Matheson for Europe. So yeah, there we go. That's the team. Okay, so we can see the team sheets there. I don't recognize, a lot of those names just kind of look the same to me. But I don't recognize anybody there, I don't think. All right, what do we want to say to this? Good on you, go out there and impress me. They're 2nd in the form table. We're 1st. Let's make that count today. We are away from home here, aren't we? A win here will crown us champions. Nothing but the best will do. Is that putting too much pressure on them? Let's try it, see what happens. I'm not quite sure, to be honest, why we had the feels like a sudden turnaround in form. It honestly just seemed like we had that first game where they were talking about us being in a relegation battle, which I looked at the points and I can see why that was generated in the press conference, but we were sitting 2nd in the table at the time. Like, it was never really a thing. But what that meant, obviously, that's what the players are hearing, so that's what they were thinking. So I just kind of took the pressure off them, and we absolutely belted Vikinger, and that just seemed to push us back into gear then. So I have been playing around with team talks as well, trying to find what kind of works for us now that we're essentially the team to beat in Iceland. And I think maybe that is helping a little bit as well. But yeah, we've been rotating the team around, and well, you can see from the games that we've played, the goals that we've scored, it doesn't really seem to matter who's there. But Datsun for Stephenson, and that is off the line. A good defensive clearance, to be fair to the defender there. That's awkward, isn't it? Running back towards your goal, such a tight angle to get that header wide of the post is a decent effort. Yeah, now we're playing Karasson as the backup number 10 right now. He's not really playing as a number 10, but as the advanced playmaker, I should say. The reason for that, obviously, is Allmarkson's injury, and Karasson can play there. I have been using him a little bit further forward, but actually looking at his finishing attributes and things like that, he's probably better suited to playing a deeper role in midfield. Haverdatsen not quite able to get away from the defenders there, and tracking back nicely. But we might be in a little bit of trouble here as Monty goes across, and cross comes in. It is, oh, over the top. Yeah, so it just seems to have just randomly clicked. Now, I think it helped as well. 3 of those 4 games were home games, and then by the time we got to Grota, we were more or less just absolutely flying. So yeah, we'll see how we go here. Now, we've done the old thing. Pontus Lengren, he scored against us before. I've done the old thing here that I know Lelujo is, it convinces the thing where I've turned the game off when we're flying and now we've come back and are we going to get punished for it? Which I don't agree with at all, to be honest. But let's try demand more. And that's led to another corner. Can we get this one away, please? Oh, dear. Are we going to have one of those days? All right, so let's raise up this tempo. And let's look to exploit the... Let's just raise up the tempo. And... yeah, I got to say, slightly concerned with the pre-game team talk if I was putting too much pressure on them. And a good save first up by Andreasen, but no one paying any attention there to Jonsson. And he's just had a simple tap-in the end. So next goal's important, isn't it? We've had 7 shots, only 1 on target. I think the half-time team talk, given that we look to be a little bit short of confidence, is going to have to be you've been unlucky so far. I'd noticed that Cisse had an injury, which is not ideal. We'll tell them we have faith in them to go out there and make a difference. And what's he done to himself? A potential thigh. Now, is that a bruised thigh, or is that something a little bit more serious than a bruise? Let's push Karasson up. Podatsin can't really go further up. He's very much Uranka Man type. And Hajduk is now injured. So this is becoming problematic. Sanchez can go up there and cover for him. He's being hampered by his injury, so we'll have to bring Rocky on to play for him. And Rocky is... yeah, well, you're going to have to play as a winger, mate. All right, well, next goal, as I said, is very important here. Let's hope that it's going to go the right way for us. Oh, I thought that was going to go in. We might need to go and put a little bit more pressure on this mob as well. See if we can win the ball back a bit higher up. Stefansson's having one of his days off, isn't he? Which is always annoying. Of course, we only have A, so many subs we can make, and B, so many players on the bench. And Gadini really does need to stay a little bit fresher. Here we go. Rocky with a chance now. He's got Stefansson with him. If we can get one goal back, this could still be on. He's done brilliantly as Rocky. Pull it back, mate. He goes himself. Oh, Rocky, you selfish bastard. You've got to pull that back across goal, mate. You've just got to. And there's not too much happening here. I mean, as I say, in a way, this is all part of the plan because we played a very good team against Grotta to make sure that we got that win so that if this happened, it wasn't the end of the world. But it doesn't look like we'll be winning the league title today, which kind of ruins the plans for the rest of the season, to be honest. Yeah, so that's going to put them, what, only 4 points back from us, so we'll have to wait and see when we come back. I'll do some maths off camera. Can we get a goal? I mean, a draw, I didn't see. A draw keeps the gap at 7, doesn't it? So that doesn't get it done for us either, and I think we're going to struggle to score 3 goals in 2 minutes here, to be honest, especially with the sort of game that we're having. You can see this is the sort of thing that Stefansson does from time to time, and it's where I really do wonder, oh, and there's another one. When we're bad, we really are quite bad, aren't we? And that's what makes me think it is down to team talk, and maybe away from home I should have just taken a bit of pressure off them, but here we are. And yeah, well, first versus second, we may win the league, but they've definitely won the battle, haven't they, here? This has been a really not good performance from us. So there we go. That will be that. Absolute devastation from KR. Stefansson, this is, he's really annoying me. And the reason he annoys me is because we've all seen what he can do. He is, he's brilliant on his day, but when he does that, you just don't get it. So there we go, the brilliant run comes to an end. Suddenly that gap is down to 4 points with 3 games to play, and it doesn't look quite so straightforward, does it? But it should be okay, he says. So injury worry for Hajduk, so that's not great. A broken foot, that's his season done. We do have good Munson, who's another youngster that can play over there. The Cisse injury is just a bruised thigh. We've slammed the team. Guys, wait right there. We'll be back to face Hajduk Split and hopefully do a little bit better in that one. Okay, welcome back. Let's put that disappointment behind us and look to move on here into Europe. It is Hajduk Split at home. Let's have a look at what we're expecting here. A 4-2-3-1 formation from them. They must have seen the KR game. And let's have a look at the team we're sending out. So Andreasen in goal. It is Meng Ji-yu at left back. It's Andreasen, Antonsen and Matheson. The reason that he is playing, we've seen before, we struggled defending corners and free kicks. Jumping reach of 14, strength of 12. He's going to be a decent presence for us in the air. Sayas, Turbenson and Cappiello are the midfield. Viva and Turco in what may be yet another of his last games with us is there. And Gadini, he would be the man that goes up top. All right, so let's have a look at the team sheets here. Do we recognise any names? There's a couple of names there I think I might recognise, but I'm not always the best with European football, any football, to be honest, in recognising names. It's important we make our home advantage count. I can get on board with that. It is important we make our home advantage count. There's a lot on the line here for us in terms of coefficient points and cash as well. All right, and here we go. Let's hope we can get things underway with a little bit of quality here. It's one of these, isn't it? Where if we are going to get points in the group, and I know there was in the comments, sort of 7 to 10 points is what we should be looking at, and I don't necessarily completely disagree with that. As Roofwatch returns for another episode, and still looking pretty good up there. But yeah, if we are going to get those sorts of points, then at home to, let's face it, a non-loaded league team in Hajduk Split, then that is where we need to make sure we're getting some points on the board here. Now, this, if you missed it last episode, we were looking for nominations for Viewers Player of the Year. So whoever you think has been our best or your favourite players this season, make sure you let me know, and we'll start to get a nominations list together. With the ball forward there for Turco. What can he do? He's run it back nicely. Can he pull up Gadini? Gadini's there. He's got time and space. Oh! And he can't keep his effort down. It was a really, really good chance for Gadini. And the sort of goal-scoring form he's been in, you kind of expected him to score that. Here we go now. Can Turpitson go and win it back for us? He's been quite the destroyer in there. Matheson puts a nice tackle in to hold up play. And still Hajduk Split had it. Andreasen, the two brothers, into a little bit of a misunderstanding. Turpitson forward for Cappiello. Look wide. We've got Turco. He looks for him. He finds him. Nods it back to Cappiello. Meng Ji-yu. Sayas. Oh, Turpitson caught looking at the ball. And can we get a back? It is. Oh, it's off the crossbar. And Meng Jian-yu will come away with it. Back to Andreasen. We hack it clear. Turco, can he get a knockdown here for Gadini? Gadini on the chest. Cappiello, oh, just wasn't on the same wavelength. It's wonderful football. It's very entertaining, but yeah, well, that was a chance, wasn't it? That was a chance. Well, at both ends, to be fair. Turpitson, Viva. Viva, nice ball for Matheson getting forward. Can Luke Matheson whip across in now? Where is Gadini? He checks back. Oh, he's got a long way at this point. Matheson lays it back there for Andreasen. Ji-yu or Jan-yu. Meng Jan-yu, what's he got for us? What's he got? Andreasen across for Antonsen. Sayas. Sayas looks out the run of Turpinson. Turpinson's in. Turpinson's in. Oh, it's broken. And it is Gadini. That can't miss. I don't actually know how much he knew about it. Turpinson's run forward. Was trying to bring the ball under control. It's bounced off. I don't know if it was a defender or the goalkeeper into Gadini's path. And we have taken the lead on the half-hour mark. Turpinson did well. And I still don't know if it was off the defender. Maybe defend the goalkeeper. Either way, it broke to Gadini. And he just had the simple task of rolling it into an empty net. So we have a lead. Turpinson now over a free kick. Knocks one in. It is bouncing around in there. And it was Sayas's effort, I think, that is claimed in the end by the goalkeeper. Highlight continues. Matheson wins the ball well. Turpinson again. Turpinson's running the show for us, it looks like. Viva, can he get a cross in? He's got Matheson in support. He uses him. Matheson whips the cross in. Back post. Turco. Oh, how has he done that? Is he onside? It's going to be the question. It looks like he is. It's the 10th of the season for Turco, and I don't know how he has headed the ball in from that angle. Matheson with a good looping cross in. He's unmarked, and that is... Well, I tell you what, I'm not going to put that in the goal of the season contenders because it's not going to look good on a replay. But to score a looping header from that angle, maybe it should be in there as a nominee. On the surface, it's a cross into the back post and a header at goal. But it's just the quality of that header is absolutely brilliant. So our 2 Italians have got goals, or 2 of the 4 Italians have got goals. I think we've got to say, don't get complacent. That was as good as we've played in Europe, and we've done it in a group stage. And is this going to be our first ever win in a European, competition proper, outside of qualifying? 2 draws, of course, we managed last season in this competition at this stage, but we're yet to get a win. We probably don't need to be attacking them anymore. Let's just drop it back to positive. We still want to have a go at them. 2-0, it's the most dangerous lead in football. We hear it all the time, don't we? Ball forward. And, VAR, save us. I don't think VAR's got anything to say about this. That looked a goal. We'll give it a focus. Oh, it's disallowed. Thank you, VAR. And, he is just off. You see that he took a step back after the ball had been played. It's one of those that it would just further complicate the offside rule, but I think it should be like in rugby, where you can play yourself back onside. And, like if you come back onside, but it just complicates things. I kind of want it to be the rule, but also don't, because as I say, it will just complicate things a little bit. But anyway, we've got away with one there. It was all down to the time the ball was played, wasn't it? And he was off at the moment the ball was played. Turpinson with the ball forward for Gadini. Gadini! Oh, it's a good save. I think it might have been off the goalkeeper's face. I don't know how much he knew about it. But the next goal is huge, isn't it? Cappiello with the ball to the back post. It's off the post. Didn't see whose header it was, but it was a decent one. And, hit the wrong side of the post, unfortunately, for us. Look at that. We are 9th in the Europa League table right now. Go on, boys. Can we see this out, though? That is the question. And, there's arguably, obviously, it's not more important to win this. We've got to win the title because that gets us back into Champions League qualifiers. But in terms of money, we'll get much more from winning this game than we will from winning the Icelandic title. Here we go with Turco. Turco has a go! And it is just past the post. That would have wrapped things up for us very nicely. But this has been comprehensive, hasn't it? With the exception of the disallowed goal, we've not really looked in any sort of trouble. Cappiello, it's Meng Jianyu getting forward. He's in the box. Meng Jianyu! And that is saved by the goalkeeper as well. But this has been a much, much better performance from us. And it is going to be our first ever win in European competition proper. And it was a dominant performance. 61% possession, 18 shots, 10 on target. That could have been much, much more, but we'll take 2-0 and absolutely run with it. So there we go. Look at that. Top half of the league table in the Europa League. Yes, it's just one game played, but that is still a very, very nice place for us to be. And if we look at the league fixtures that were going on while we were playing that, KR have won. They are now only a point behind us. We have a game in hand, but the league title is not done yet. KR are going to make a fight out of this, which is quite annoying. But anyway, we've won the game. £500,000 for winning that. That is insane. Wow, that is brilliant. Turco, that header, that was absolutely brilliant. I cannot speak highly enough of that. As someone who cannot head the ball in any sort of direction he means to, I just gape in awe at that. That was absolutely brilliant. But anyway, that will do it for today. Finances after that, 5.7 million. We have already asked for facilities to be upgraded again. I'm not sure if that money has come out yet or not, but either way, that is absolutely a very, very nice, healthy balance. Is there anything we can ask the board for here? Increased junior coaching budget would be something that would be nice to do, wouldn't it? You can never have that high enough until it is maxed out. Improve youth recruitment would be another thing we'd like very much to do. And can we get some more coaches or something here? No, we don't have the option of that just yet. But anyway, guys, that will do it for today. Now, what I think we're going to do, we can't win the league next game, as we've just seen, because they're a point behind us. What I think we will do is we'll come back for the Keflavik game where we could, in theory, win the league. If it goes down to the final day, then we'll come back for that'll be the second game. And if not, then we'll come back for this game against, they are a Czech side, I think, aren't they? So that is, I think, another game that we could potentially get something from. Now, this is where I sort of need you guys' help. All I'm thinking about is, so say that's next episode league and that game. Roma at home, Rennes away. I'm thinking that's not going to go particularly well for us. what we might have is Dundalk away, who I saw that as Dundee. I would have bet my life that was Dundee, and that's why I said it. I was shocked when we saw Dundalk, and I was like, oh, where's Dundee? I couldn't find them on the list. Anyway, I'm wondering if Dundalk away and AEK Athens would be a decent episode. Benfica away, I don't think any of us want to have to watch that, and then that would mean Gladbach at home to finish off the season. Let me know what you think of that as a sort of schedule. Yeah, I just don't think the bigger teams, obviously I'll show you the highlights, but I don't know that we're going to do much in those games just now. But anyway, that's temporarily what I'm thinking. Don't forget to start nominating your Viewers Player of the Year. I'll see you next time to hopefully get this Pepsi League done and dusted, and then hopefully another 3 points in Europe, another £500,000 as well. All be very nice, wouldn't it? Until then, take care.